Trade deadline, Devin. The trade deadline, the NFL trade deadline, Tuesday evening, night, afternoon, 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, evening, whatever you want to consider it. We got a few moves that are definitely impactful or mean something, or could maybe they don't. I don't know. But first thing, like you brought it up earlier, so we might as well talk about it now. That's the player that the Commanders got. Now, if there's one thing we have been questioning about Washington and have been criticizing, it's that spot. It's that spot that Marshon Lattimore is going to be able to fill.
It's that corner spot, bro.
He's going to be.
It's that Benjamin St. Just.
He's going to be able to bring y'all a lot more. It's just, I don't know. It's like you just get to throw somebody out there, and it's like, all right, like that side of the field, we don't have to worry about it as much as we did a day ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had to worry. Now a lot of that stress is lifted off our back because we got someone like Marshon Lattimore. Marshon Lattimore filling that role.
But to me, this is like, I don't know, call me stupid, but this is less of like it's a huge football move, but this is more of like a confidence move. This is more of like, hey, we are putting guys on this team.
Well, I think it shows the confidence. I think it shows
it shows the confidence.
We're making big boy moves because we think we're about to do some big boy shit. It's definitely like, it's also
it's huge football wise. Yes. It's a great addition. But to like a fan, it shows that we are going in on this team.
We're locked.
Clearly, we revamped the entire coaching staff. We got Cliff Kingsbury. We got Dan Quinn. I think Jack Del Rio's still there. Maybe I'm retarded. Can't remember. Either way, it shows that this team is really getting behind our quarterback and trying to win football games. So hopefully we do that. But at the same time, I don't want to put nothing into it because the Orioles lost in the wild card this year, and I'm sad about it still. So,
well, speaking of Baltimore, we also got a DB. We were able to make a good old trade for Tre'davious White.
I was going to say Tremaine Edwards, not him.
Definitely not him, which I am definitely happy about. Obviously, we got Nate and Marlon Humphrey still a little banged up. We need the depth. We need the help. We need we need it all. I'm glad we didn't need we're making moves, but I will say I'm glad that, to me, this move means that they are addressing a situation that we've all been talking about.
Of course,
we've all been bitching about the Ravens and just their pass coverage and just their DBs just falling apart and crumbling, and we just need more experienced guys that can communicate, especially in mid play. Just that's a big thing, and I've noticed it. It's obviously like, if a player goes, we're struggling at communicating, you're gonna look for it more, but no, it's like glaringly obvious. Like, there are so many times where the Ravens are right there. Could have had an interception. Could have made a big stop. Could have done a lot more.
Well, there was that big play against Jameis. Who was that? Right after the Hamilton drop pick.
Who was it on?
No, there was the Hamilton drop pick and then the bomb.
Yes.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
Who was in coverage?
I want to say
the dude you were
Jackson.
Eddie Jackson.
Eddie Jackson, I believe.
So it's like, the little bullshit plays that happen that really ruin a game for y'all.
See, but I also thought Eddie Jackson was a DB that'd be able to come in with experience and be able to communicate and be able to not make those types of mistakes.
Yes.
And it turns out that it's the complete opposite, and I'm hoping it's not the same for Tre'davious White.
Or maybe two vets will kind of make everything a little bit better.
But I mean, at this point, Marlon's a vet. You got Roquan in the middle making, calling all the shots. It's like it's there. You got Marcus Williams.
If Kyle
back
Hamilton
there.
learns how to slow the game down a little bit, he might be a vet pretty soon.
I mean, with players like Marcus Williams, Roquan out there, Eddie Jackson, Tre'davious White now, like, no, you should, like, Marlon Humphrey, like, y'all should be able to communicate. There should be no problem with communication.
And it's not like y'all have a lack of talent out there.
No, that's what pisses me off.
Now we've talked about a lack of what's his name?
Depends.
44. Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, 44.
We've talked about a lack of Marlon talent this year and years prior. But this year he's done well enough.
Yeah.
Snagged a few picks and not let up some crazy plays. So having him out isn't great, but yeah, he's still that presence out there a little bit.
Steelers, two moves that the Steelers made. One that I like, one that I could care less about. The Steelers get Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Mike Williams is like not that good at football.
No.
Sorry to make it like that basic, but
I'm going to be honest. I think the Jets have a really buddy bullshit type of system where they're not going to try to get the ball to Mike as much, and they're not going to do this with Mike and that. I'm going to be honest. I think Mike is damn near.
Get out of my face.
Mike's close to a number one on that team, especially if teams are going to start to double Pickens and play tough on Freiermuth.
Bro,
I think that Mike can be open a lot on this Steelers team.
Bro, we're talking about the guy that couldn't keep a job over Quentin Johnson in L.A. We're talking about the guy who had
Mike's time was done in LA.
No, we're talking about the guy. We're talking about the guy who was in LA and Keenan was going down and he was battling with what? You're telling me he couldn't shine over Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnson. That's the comp he's battling with, and he couldn't shine over him. He goes over to Aaron Rodgers, and I'm sorry, but I gotta disagree. He was given all chances in the world, given so many looks, had so many drop balls to the point where, it's funny, Aaron Rodgers blames people. But Aaron Rodgers played in the NFL for a long time and has had plenty of years where they were not too successful. And bro came out and was like, I mean, it wasn't even dropped. It's like, yeah, Mike ran the wrong fucking route. And you know what? I believe him.
Sure.
I fucking believe him.
Probably. But if Garrett Wilson didn't have the week he had last week, we'd be shit. I mean, I'm not saying if he didn't, but I'm saying that last week we were looking at Garrett Wilson the same way.
Bro, but we weren't. No,
we were looking at him like a bust and like all this shit.
Okay, but
and Devontae Adams, what the fuck is Devontae Adams done?
Looking at Garrett Wilson as a bust and understanding that Mike Williams has been a bum for years are two completely different things. Mike Williams was looked at as a bum before this trade. He was looked at as a bum before Garrett Wilson had a good game last week. He was looked at a bum before Devontae Adams was traded there. He was looked at a bum before he was a Jet. He was looked at as a bum when he was a Charger. So, if anything, yeah, he's going to get.
He was looked at as a bum. He was a Charger.
Are you serious? The whole conversation has been Justin Herbert throws to nothing but trash ass receivers.
No, the conversation was he was throwing to good receivers who were never there. And my argument back in the day was you're looking at guys who are not good enough to do it. Keenan Allen and Mike Will. No one gives Keenan Allen shit.
Yes, we do.
Number one,
number
one, not being there, and number two, not being good enough. The two of them were never good enough, even healthy, to make a huge playoff run.
What the fuck? Then what the fuck's gonna make him good now?
What I'm saying is, with this Steelers team, with how depleted that this offense is, and how little that this Steelers offense has to do to win a football game, I think Mike Williams can make an impact.
Make an impact? How?
Catching a few fucking footballs,
But he struggles at doing that. So here's the thing.
I understand.
Because the Pittsburgh Steelers don't do much on offense, and they keep it very simple on offense. What do you think's going to happen when he goes out there and the 5 looks he gets runs the wrong route or drops a wide open pass? It's going to be, Mike Williams is a bum again. I don't know where you got this mixed feeling of Mike Williams wasn't a bum. He's been a bum. You just said he couldn't get it done.
I agree.
Keenan Allen. It was Keenan Allen and Mike Will suck. Like that was the situation.
But I swear to you, the narrative way back in the day. And for fucking 6 years, it was like Wait till Mike and Keenan are healthy together. You got a top fucking 5 quarterback in Justin Herbert. Go pay him all his money, and then once they get healthy, now they're a fucking perfect team. And it was Keenan can do this, Keenan can do that. Mike's this, Mike's that. That team was never good enough full healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And that receiving core was never good enough. But the Chargers never had a defense like this team. And
what the
if
fuck
you can have
does that
Pickens,
have to do with Mike Will?
But if you can have Pickens opening looks up a little bit because he's playing great, you can have Mike take a few shots.
Okay. And Devontae and Garrett Wilson can't give Mike Williams some looks?
They can barely give looks for themselves. They had one good game last game.
I don't know.
Garrett had a good game last game.
You are gassing the Mike Williams move.
I'm not gassing it. I'm just saying that the Mike Williams situation. I'm saying the Mike Will situation in Pittsburgh is better than the Mike Will in New York.
Yeah, because he'll be on the bench a lot more.
I think it's the reverse.
No, it's literally not the reverse. He's going to be such a waste of time in Pittsburgh. It's not even funny. I guarantee he's on a new roster after this year. I promise you.
He might be, but
dude,
I think he will make a little impact.
All of this hype, this was supposed to be such a big move when he went to the Jets. Oh, they got Mike Will, and even me, I was like, what the fuck?
But it still wasn't that crazy of a hype.
So why are we? So it still wasn't crazy of a hype, and it ended up being a shit show. So why are we like not doubling down on him being a shit show? All right, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. From that team. I got you. You think
what? You think Allen Lazard is a better receiver?
I don't. We haven't seen as much Allen Lazard as we've seen Mike Williams.
We haven't seen anything from this Jets team. We cannot say that this Jets team.
We have seen Mike Williams with the Chargers do absolutely nothing.
Okay, Mike would put up numbers with the Chargers. Now, when I say that they were shit, I meant that they were shit in terms of winning football games. That fucking trio right there wasn't going to win dick.
I've never seen a Mike Williams-led offense be successful.
He's never led an offense.
When Keenan Allen
they have one of the worst run teams in the league.
When Keenan Allen was...
And you're going to blame it on Mike Williams. You can't blame this on Mike Williams. When Keenan Allen
was down... Nobody's blaming it on Mike Williams, but if you're going to sit here and ask me how I feel about Mike Williams and I say he's trash, and then we're going into 30 different reasons why I think he's trash, yeah, I'm going to get to a point where I say... if he's leading an offense, he's not going to be that fucking successful. We watched when Keenan Allen went down, and he was the person that was supposed to step up, not step up. And what? Now it's Justin Herbert's fault? He can't get it done?
It's also his fault.
Oh, now it's his fucking fault. But now, and Aaron Rodgers' fault. Because we're not going to pretend like Mike hasn't gotten the looks and hasn't gotten all the chances in the world, especially before Devontae got traded there. He's part of the reason why this Jets offense has been so damn shitty.
Part of it. But like I said, we're looking at a Steelers offense where Mike is not the number one. Mike does not have to be the number one. You're looking at a run first, defense first team, and then you've got balls to Pickens, you've got balls to Freiermuth, and then you can get balls to Mike. It's not this huge push toward making Mike this fucking star. It's using him as a piece, like you would a Deontay Johnson.
But to you, they've never done that. They've never tried to make Mike Williams a star, and he's never been an answer. So I don't. Okay, so sure, the 2 looks he'll get with the Steelers because they run the ball 90% of the damn time, and if not, they're gonna lob that bitch up to Pickens for a 50-50 ball. So sure, Mike Williams can do his thing. If anything, 32-year-old Preston Smith that they got from the Packers is gonna be more of an impact than Mike Williams because you know why? Because the Steelers are gonna fuck around and know how to use a 30-year-old linebacker for some reason. That's just what the Steelers do. That's what I expect them to make more of an impact out of is, we got a linebacker we got Preston Smith. Cool. Yeah, no, we'll make him work. He's going to come out and ball for the rest of the season with the fucking Steelers.
Where's he from?
Packers.
Okay. I thought it was Minnesota for a second.
But then the final move, the biggest move, I mean, we I don't know if we could say we expected it, but it's not a shocker.
You expected it.
I called it.
I
called this shit. Zadarius Smith to the Lions. For some reason, Shane thought Atlanta was Atlanta ain't good. Atlanta was
Shane's lost, bro.
Atlanta was
Shane said that defense was good enough the entire offseason. He said that.
But he did pretty much week 1 or 2 declare like, all right, like we got problems on the defensive side of the ball. So
I know, but when we're looking at a true contender in Detroit, and the fact that they lost their star edge rusher for the entire season, go get a vet. Yeah,
go get a vet. Get Zadarius
Now
Smith.
He's not going to put up anywhere near the same numbers that Hutch would have, but that's a good piece to have on your D line.
And then I mean the moves that were there were a couple moves that I guess were expected to be made that weren't. I mean, or were predicted. I mean, they were saying maybe Bryce Young gets moved. And
I was I talking to you or somebody? I can't remember.
Maybe
it may have been on the podcast. I can't remember. Bryce wasn't getting moved.
Okay.
They're not taking a former number one and moving him mid-season of his second season. It's not happening. And also, what team's looking for a Bryce Young? Who's looking for Bryce Young right now?
Raiders?
No.
The Raiders are
going to revamp their whole shit. The Raiders are going to tank and go pick up Cam Ward next year.
But, like, the Raiders are the only team, if you, like, ask, like, right now, like, who needs a quarterback? Like, no, it's like maybe probably the team who has literally their best option right now is someone who's a minority owner of the team. It's the best option at quarterback. So
1,000%. But shit, they threw Desmond Ridder in that game, no? It's like Desmond's probably better than Bryce Young. So Bryce is wanted by nobody, and until Bryce proves with the Panthers, it has to be with the Panthers, that he can play decent football, he's not going to get looks from anybody else.
I don't think Desmond Ridder is better than Bryce Young, by the way.
I don't know.
I'm just going to throw that out.
I've never seen Bryce Young play good football.
Yeah, I guess. But,
I can say the same thing about Desmond, but still, I don't know.